Yeah, how y'all doing tonight? I'm just sitting back and you know, funny how life goes, man. It's really funny. You know, the last week has been kind of like um helter skelter to say the least, but it's been fun as well. I can't admit it's been fun, and you know, it is what it is. Um, I would say it's been a circus to say the least. Um, but hey, what is circus you have? You have clown shows and you have actors and actresses and stuff like that. But a lot of legal ramifications stuff that went down. Um, Supreme Court, um, a lot of other laws, you know, talking about being passed. It's actually been pretty fun. It's actually been interesting for me. You know, sometimes you like when all this happens because you can just sit back and just watch it all burn down. It just, it's like making me feel vindicated because a lot of stuff I said, I haven't been wrong. 95% of the stuff I said right, probably about 97%. It's just the other 3% ain't come through yet, but it's coming. So I don't mind. Call us the conspiracy theorists, call us this, call us that. I don't really care. Um, you know, thank you. I don't really care because it's like whatever, right? So um I just don't understand this helter skelter, this like all this my body, my choice. You know, it's kind of like my body, my choice. Burn it down. For what? Hey, you say you are the author and the dictator of your own life. So if you're the author and dictator of your own life, you already had a choice. I don't understand all the outrage, right? You know, burn it down. You know, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff over last week, man. I really have. I'm actually glad that it just came out the way it did because it made me realize how crazy people can be and how we just don't listen and we don't read. People in general. But it also made me realize how much the media lies, which I already knew, but I didn't see a lot of black women out there like they claim. More white women, don't you think? So it is what it is. Basically, mostly all white women I saw. However, when things happen like this, you got to talk about it. Um, and shout out to Real BTV for um, having Judge on. I got to listen to that, and now me and him will talk for a little bit. I probably don't be on that long. The man been doing a lot of shows, man. I guess he's running for mayor and stuff like that. Um, but it's kind of crazy. Me and him actually got birthdays in the same month. What is it, July 5th and July 16th? That's me. So I don't know. It's another revolution around the sun, I guess. So I don't know. You know, maybe that's how life is. Um, I got to get some type of clarity for what's going on right now because these moments that we got don't happen too often. And I've seen more crazy stuff over the last week and a half, right? You know, Talking about we're going to end interracial marriage, blah, 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 this, that, and the third, whatever. Who cares? Maybe it could help somebody. I don't know. But, I just always got some, some clips and stuff to say. So I do want to say, before I start, how can I put it here? What's going on, man? How you doing, Frank? So let me look at this. I mean, yeah. That's cool. Look at this stuff that we got going on here.
After saving with customized car insurance from Liberty Mutual, I customize everything.
What's going on, bro?
Like Marco's backpack.
Advertising on YouTube helps me reach engaged customers like Jenna, who's been searching for landscapers on Google. So when she watches YouTube, my ad's there with a link to schedule now. I found my customers on YouTube. Get started with YouTube.
Came forward. She said that Illinois would be an oasis. Let's listen in.
Last month, a leaked draft.
The Select Committee to investigate the January.
It's a fair use copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute, otherwise might be infringing.
Listen in.
The activist agenda of this conservative majority, where they want to overturn many of the precedents that were premised upon Roe v. Wade's right to privacy. But I got a message for Justice Thomas and for the Supreme Court. We will not let you take away our rights under any circumstances. These rights are hard fought. These rights are in the spirit of who we are as Americans. We're not going to go back to a day when women do not have bodily autonomy. We're not going to go back to a day where interracial marriage is vilified. We will not go back to a day when gay men in loving each other is treated as a criminal act. And we will not retreat from same-gender marriage. We're not going backwards. So we're going to get people activated. We're going to mobilize, and we're going to fight with all our heart to make sure that the American promise of equal justice under law is real, that it is living and breathing in our country today. So while this decision is angering and frustrating, it's a momentary setback. And we will be even more determined and more adamant to make sure that our rights are respected under law. We're not going backwards. And if the Supreme Court wants to continue to be a politicized organization, which delegitimizes itself in the institution, which derobs it of any credibility or legitimacy, so be it. But what I know and what I am committed to making sure is that the city of Chicago remains a justice for all city. So I want to say to women out there in states where the trigger laws are going to go into effect here in the coming days and weeks, you have sanctuary in the city of Chicago. We respect your rights. We support your rights, and we will be here for you. I want people to look all across this country at the states that are going to weaponize this decision against women, against trans members of our community, against the Black and Asian and other minorities. The fight to make sure that our civil rights are respected is not over, and we are not yielding any ground without making sure that we are ready and fighting every single day for our rights. So in Chicago and other cities across the country, we will stand as beacons of light for what our country should be standing for is equal justice under law. We will not retreat. We will fight. So thank you.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Monel and everybody? Well, hey, man, I mean, it's a clown show, right? That does constitute as a clown show, right? I'm just asking. I mean, I tell you, it's a circus full of clowns and full of people just out there, you know. I guess they got to axe the grind. I don't know, man. I really don't give a shit, to be honest with you, right? But it is what it is, right? Like put the clown. That's exactly right. What's going on, brother? How you doing? She should fight the out of control violence in Chicago. Yeah, but then she had to be accountable for things. You know, she don't want to do that. You know, it's like it's fighting a dead horse, brother. Why you can fight that? That means I gotta take responsibility. Judge, we just asked for a link, so it'll be on it shortly. But yeah, I mean, you gotta take responsibility for this because this is some crazy lunatic stuff that we're talking about here, right? I mean, I've never seen nothing this bad, right? But he needs to stop. Yeah, it probably could be. I don't know. Probably is a he under there. I don't know what's going on with these daggone church these days, man. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm like, you know, like somebody got to get some clarity because I don't know who needs it, man. Thank you, Spencer. I hope for the lick 144. A lot of stuff going on, though. You know, I don't know how we're gonna handle it. Can we put it? Can we all put it together? All I want to do is people to put it together and use their mind, because they're not using it right now. Thinking with their emotions again. And we think with emotion, that's when we're gonna get screwed up again, you know? And we're doing it again. Down here in Richmond, I had a brother who made a comment saying he supported the decision. And wow, I mean, you know, they went to attacking him, you know, just saying that, you know, basically they wish everything was death on the man. You know? It is what it is, man. So, you know, because he just made a statement, but women didn't see it that way. Someone said protesters are taking business to Starbucks. I find it mighty odd that Starbucks and these companies are, as a matter of fact, I got to play that clip too in a minute. But I find it mighty funny Starbucks and them are paying for you to have an abortion. So they can provide, they can lighten their load on giving you insurance and Medicare. It's actually a win for them. I find it very hypocritical right now that they would do something like Don't you think? Ain't that crazy? That they're going to give you free medical care for that? For $4,000 or whatever the case, maybe they pay you for your travel costs and abortion and stuff like that. But that's not benefiting them, because if I put you on insurance for 18 years with a child, I got to spend more money. So I'm winning for a one-time fee. And you also, get people to buy from your companies. Maybe I should give you those clown names, right? Lyft, Uber, Yelp. That shooting inside a Texas Urban Hospital. All right. Let me get to work on that. I'll take a look at that in a little bit. I'm pretty sure it could be a psyop, but whatever. It's still news, right? Yeah. Shaq, you after I get into the points of this show, I might actually want you to bring that in. I don't know anything about it yet, and I really, I'm on here now, so I can't really dive into it all the way. Maybe you got some points of the story before I close out or something. You can bring that into play. Maybe I'll let you tap in or something and get a link and tap into the argument or whatever. I mean, not the discussion about it. So I don't know nothing about it. That you could bring some awareness to that situation. I don't know. But you can bring it to the situation. That'd be good information that somebody would need to know, especially somebody who's living in the Texas area. But nevertheless, also the Democrats have been making a lot of fundraising off the thing. But I think Obama said it in 2009, didn't he? Oh, I think he did. Let me pull it up for you. Let me play the part when they started really fundraising, though. Let me play that part more so than that. I want to get to the real stuff. This is fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. So, just need to put that out there before I put my disclaimer in.
Getting an abortion is not easy. Making that decision is not easy. It's not something people do lightly. It's not something that you can just do. It is a hard, awful decision that people make.
Celebrities are speaking out in response to news that the Supreme Court could potentially overturn Roe v. Wade, a landmark decision made by the U.S. Supreme Court in 1973 that legalized abortion on a national scale.
Women, when they decide something is not right for them, they're going to take it into their own hands.
On Tuesday, Whoopi Goldberg spoke passionately on The View about her thoughts on the draft opinion that was leaked Monday from the Supreme Court, detailing plans to overturn abortion rights.
We got tired of tripping over women in bathrooms, public bathrooms, who were giving themselves abortions because there was nowhere safe, nowhere clean, nowhere to go. This law came about because people wanted people to have somewhere safe and somewhere clean. It has nothing to do with your religion. This is not a religious issue. This is a human issue.
Whoopi stressed her point by emphasizing how getting an abortion is not a decision most women take lightly.
It's not something that you can just do. It is a hard, awful decision.
And the talk show host gave this suggestion to those who see it differently.
If you don't have the wherewithal to understand that, to start this conversation with, I know how hard this must be for you. If you're starting it by telling me I'm going to burn in hell, then you're not looking out for me as a human being, whether I subscribe to your religion or not. And that is not okay.
After the report was released, showing a draft of Justice Samuel Alito's majority opinion overturning Roe v. Wade, protesters hit the streets Monday night and on Tuesday, Amy Schumer being one of them. She gave her followers a call to action on Instagram. The actress shared this post that reads, quote, "To the streets." She captioned it, quote, "Give us our dignity or we will take it. This is why we fight." The 40-year-old also shared this photo of herself along with other women during Tuesday's mass protest that took place across the country. She captioned it, quote, "Bands off our bodies."
It's like we're doing it together.
Another famous face who joined the mass protest Tuesday is model Emily Ratajkowski. She shared this photo on Instagram with her infant son on her shoulder. And in the back, you see a sign that reads, "Abortion is a human right." Hillary Clinton responded to news of the leaked opinion by tweeting in part, quote, "Not surprising, but still outrageous. This decision is a direct assault on the dignity, rights, and lives of women, not to mention decades of settled law." President Joe Biden released a statement that reads in part, quote, "We do not know whether this draft is genuine or whether it reflects the final decision of the court." He adds, quote, "I believe that a woman's right to choose is fundamental. Roe has been the law of the land for almost 50 years, and basic fairness and the stability of our law demand it not to be overturned." Barack Obama echoed that sentiment in a statement he released on behalf of himself and Michelle Obama that reads, quote, "If the Supreme Court ultimately decides to overturn the landmark case of Roe v. Wade, then it will not only reverse nearly 50 years of precedent, it will regulate the most intensely personal decision someone can make to the whims of politicians and ideologues." He adds, quote, "The consequences of this decision would be a blow not just to women, but to all of us who believe that in a free society, there are limits to how much the government can encroach on our personal lives."
My bad. I put myself on mute to get rid of the echo, but I'm saying, you saying it's not a human. It's not a human then, right? It's they say it's a fetus, but I thought that something was conceived. So I'm not sure. I mean, that's what they say, right? But we know the difference. I'm just making a point. You're right, Cut Dog. Please stop being played. That's right. I don't understand it myself. We're being played like fools, slapped, all that and above. So I don't know. But it is what it is. We got it all figured out, you know what I'm saying? I mean, some of us, they can think. The problem is a lot of people not thinking right now. It's all emotion, no logic. even men I know have been, on this topic, saying you don't support what women's right to choose. What's the right to choose? Isn't it life or death? I'm not understanding. I'm kind of confused. You know what I'm saying? I'm very confused with the whole thing. Also, there was a Second Amendment issue. I'm actually going to get him to talk about that Second Amendment issue. Again, I can expound on it, but I just want some legality to it. Because there was a breach in California. And it was very interesting. That breach that happened because they actually revealed the data of concealed carry users online. Like, this should have been a major case, man. This really should have been a major case. So, there's always something with these idiots, man. They always, they got their axe to grind, It just didn't make sense. As a matter of fact, I don't even get it really why they always got some axe to grind. You know what, brother? We do celebrate the celebrities because R. Kelly got 30 years in jail today. It's prison. But Ghislaine Maxwell got 20. So who's next? Why did she get? I'm trying to find out why he got 30. She got 20. And she was doing this across islands. Like, this was a global thing. Well, his was more so like in the States. Could have been some islands too, for we know, but I thought the Bible said, Frank, you should worship no gods before me. Isn't that what the Bible said? So why are we worshiping them? Is that interesting? I thought it was, man. Thought it was. It's very interesting. I don't know. You can't, like I said, you can't put all this stuff together without having people behind you that putting it together. Like Frank put it together, Shaq puts it together, people in the chat put it together, Real BTV, Ron Hurd put it together earlier. You're trying to connect all these dots, but you can't connect all these dots, man, when, you need somebody else to say, oh, I saw that, oh, I see this point of view. That's why it's so scary with this no diversity of thought thing. Like, everybody got to have the same opinion or something like that. I don't get it, man. Like, I don't really understand it anymore. It's kind of like, I look at it like 2/3 gonna live, gonna die, 1/3 gonna live, and then they leave that 1% left. That's how you make 100%. 2/3 is what? 66%. That would come to be 666 in the end. So, yep, how it looks. But it could be bright for a lot of us, though. But it might not be bright for everybody. So, I gotta talk about this California thing with this concealed carry. Let me get to that right now.
shipping manager left to find themselves, leaving you lost. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description.
And fair use. Act
If you struggle to
1976
lose weight, you must see this.
for teaching common education purpose fair use.
A fact-dissolving loophole has just been leaked that can dissolve 59.
For now, though, developing tonight, the state of California under fire after posting a list of every person with a permit to carry a concealed gun, including their names, addresses, and phone numbers. The list included celebrities, judges, even victims of domestic violence.
CBS 13's Laura Hafley is live outside the Department of Justice with the concerns many gun owners are raising now. Laura.
Well, this goes way beyond a simple filing error. The AG's office releasing a list of names, birthdays, gender, race, and home addresses of every single person in the state of California with a concealed carry weapons permit. This all happened last night after the AG released a website in the effort to be more transparent when it comes to gun safety. The website had in it firearm safety information, record sales, and a link to a portal of concealed carry permit holders. Except when you clicked on that portal, thousands of columns came up with all of that personal information included that I just mentioned. Now, that website has since been taken down, but too late. Victims already saw it. One who spoke to us about the danger this has put his family in.
Even most of my family members do not know that I have a concealed weapons permit. I have a good reason to get it. I got it because my spouse was being stalked by a violent abuser, and we went through a lot of a process to get that many years ago to provide us some peace of mind. So what's happened here is just a terrible thing for the citizens, and it's really terrible that the Attorney General hasn't stood up and apologized to the victims of this release.
Now, I want to read to you a part of what was said on that initial website release by the AG's office. It says the DOJ seeks to balance its duties to provide gun violence and firearms data to support research efforts while protecting the personal identifying information in the data they collect. We did reach out to the AG to ask what happened. Here's what the AG's response was. Any unauthorized release of personal information is unacceptable. We are working swiftly to address the situation and will provide additional information as soon as possible. Coming up tonight at 6, we spoke to a legal expert about what this means for victims and the difference between public record and the AG's office volunteering personal information.
Damn right, somebody need to go to jail for it. That was some crazy stuff, right? I'm just telling you, man. Like, that's a big data breach. So I don't know what's going on. That's a big data breach, but I mean, of course, they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, we did it for transparency." I'm like, no. Let me see where you at. Got it? I don't know if you're trying to get on or what, but never mind. But look, never mind. Look, yeah, it's I got one, but I mean, I don't know. They're probably trying to set the dystopian state up or something like that, man. I mean, ain't no telling what they trying to do with that one. That's a new one on me. It's a new one on me. So Not really sure how that works. But of course it was done on purpose. That's not even a question. That's really, he has done on purpose. Everything done on purpose, brother. You know? It wouldn't, I mean, that wouldn't be them if they didn't juice it up a little bit. Maybe he needs another link or something. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's got both of them. I don't know. I sent him a link though. Yeah, but it's interesting. It's very interesting how this thing is going on. Not really sure how things are working here with all this other stuff. Also, they're trying to pass a transgender bill of rights and stuff like that. So it's all a bunch of crap. Hey, Pride Month got one more day, man. Can you believe it? I can't believe we even got that many that shoot. 30 days this month was crazy as hell, man. Right? So I don't know what y'all got going on, man. Y'all got a lot of stuff going on. It's too much stuff at one time. But we getting it together. That's all you can ask for. People trying to get it together. Trying to find out where the hell he at, man. Yeah, he like a mystery, man. Come on, when it's time, But I can't hit him, man. He didn't come on because he had to share with Ron earlier, so it's not. But look, we got a lot of stuff things going on. Like I see Dr. Carey Madej, she got hit in a plane crash. Dr. Zelenko, he done daggone, must be in critical condition. So I guess all the people that were talking out earlier, they about to put him in a body bag or something, man, or do something to him or try to knock him off. I don't know what's going on. Supreme Court Justice is retiring tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Breyer. So they can make sure he retires to get him out the way so they can bring the woman onto the Supreme Court. So that's going to happen. So now you got, I kind of look back at the dog and morning show right there. To be honest, so I can't really explain it. A lot of stuff going on in there. I can't explain all that. Yeah, Shaq, do you have any updates about the thing yet or whatever in Irving, Texas? If you got any updates, let me know. That'd be some good information to know. Because that could be another ring around the rosy thing itself. So I'm just trying to find all the answers right now. In fact, let me get my phone. We got 40,000 National Guard members that could be discharged. Trying to find this thing for you right now. All right, I gotta pull up that link. I haven't pulled it up yet. Okay. All right. Let me oh yeah, I gotta pull up one more clown show for y'all right quick while I'm thinking about it. I forgot about this clown show. Let me pull her up right quick. I know y'all gonna hate me for this, but let me pull up this clown show right quick. Cause she was on my mind about her little interview. If I can find her. Her name is Jemele Hill, by the way.
By advertising on YouTube, I catch the eye of my ideal
I was never one of those people who felt like being married or having kids was needed to be the period on the end of my sentence. Um, I mean, so it just wasn't something that was ever front of mind uh, for me, and that was just based off how I felt, not really my career. Because I mean, even though this is a transient career where you move around a lot and got to make a lot of sacrifices, travel, all that sort of thing, I don't. It just wasn't something that was on my vision board.
Still may happen. You never know. Technology these days.
I'm worried about it less from that standpoint, but I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, something I definitely think about now, even though my position on it remains the same, is seeing all these stories, and unfortunately, one happened in my own family about the number of Black women who are dying in childbirth, and that is across, the economic stratas. That's like it's not based off how much money you have or don't have. The rate in which Black women are dying in childbirth is really it's really eye opening and it's really heartbreaking. And my cousin died in childbirth earlier this year. We're the same age.
Wow.
And so seeing that and seeing what Serena Williams obviously went through with her experience, there is a significant fear that I have that even if I kind of was thinking a little differently, I would be very concerned about that.
You could always adopt.
I don't know if that's my testimony. Just
Yeah.
children, period, not adoption, but like children, period. I don't know if that's my testimony.
Yeah, listen, you have to go with what feels right to
Yeah,
yourself.
that was
And
like,
not what society
I
says.
don't know about that necessarily.
Jamel Hill, thank you so much
Thanks for
for coming
having
through.
me.
An amazing story, very inspirational. Especially with someone who has gotten the level of success in sports as a female. I think that a lot of young girls are going to be watching this, in the same way that you had, those women working in the newsroom who you looked up to and said, wow, I could do this. I think having a role model is the most important thing when
Yeah.
it comes to success.
It's I think a lot of times when people think role model, they always think like somebody who's intimately in your life.
No,
But I
no.
think for a lot of people, especially if you want to do something a little untraditional,
Yeah.
that or I should say non-traditional, if you see somebody else who's done it,
Yeah.
you at least feel like there's hope that you can do it.
Yeah, like a black president.
There you go.
You and I are a similar age, and I'm pretty sure that when you and I, when we were in high school, we did not, I did not think that we'd see a black president.
I didn't either.
You see
I
what I'm
never even
saying?
thought about the discussion would ever have.
Chris Rock made jokes about how you'll never have a black vice president because first thing he'll do is some black guy will kill the president. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, and sure enough, we had Obama in for two terms, which once again, that role model kind of thing. Now black kids are growing up and say, maybe I'll be president one day.
Yeah.
Because there you go. Here's one who did it successfully with no scandals.
Yeah.
Nobody got arrested like with the current president and so forth. But thank you so much. And, looking forward to this next chapter.
Yeah,
seeing what you're going to pull
I
off.
appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it.
That was a truly embarrassing interview, man. Like I'm like, I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, truly embarrassing interview. Let's see. Let me see something here. All right, let me read this thing that he talking about here, since he brought it up to my attention. That kind of sucked. All right. So he said he was tired and he's going to bed or something like that. So that ain't on me, but you know, he just texted me because he was on the show with Ron and I've been doing other stuff today. So I ain't got nothing to do with that. But nevertheless, I still got to read this article that Shaq gave me. So, police fatally shoot an armed man, open fire inside a hospital room in Irving Wednesday night. Happened by 8 p.m. inside a patient room in the emergency wing of Baylor Scott and White Medical Center. A nurse went into a room to check on the patient and noticed he had a gun. Probably heard a call for police. 34-year-old man died from his injuries. Reeves said his name was not suggested. So, but that being said, I got one more video to play because I want people to know that what's coming down the pike. And I, like I said, I'm gonna play it. I want everybody to hear it. And after that, I'll be out because people need to know what's really going on because there will be a lot of turmoil in America after I play this. Okay. So I just want people to know this because I have, like I said, I have to come up with a better
Try this strange 10-second technique tonight to reverse type 2 diabetes. Most people continue to take blood sugar medications.
This is Fair Use Act of 1976 for copyright purposes only. Let me get that thing straight. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1970 allows made fair use purposes of criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is the use permitted by a copyright statute that otherwise might be infringing.
Well, up to 40,000 National Guard soldiers could be forced out of service if they do not get the COVID-19 vaccine by this Thursday. That makes up about 13% of the force. And states are saying that they're doing as much as they can to get shots in those arms, but there is that deadline looming. So, my question with this is, what is the point of this?
We know that these COVID vaccines are not stopping the spread. We also know that, yes, they do help people prevent severe disease in people that are at high risk, but most of these soldiers are under the age of 40. I mean, retirement is 20 years. They start at 18. So,
and they're in good shape, right? Don't they have to be in the National Guard?
We would hope.
National Guard is not exactly the same thing as the military. I will say that the list of mandatory vaccinations for service members includes adenovirus, hepatitis A and B, influenza, measles, mumps, rubella, meningococcal vaccine, poliovirus, tetanus, and varicella. I don't know what some of those are, but tetanus similarly, it only affects yourself. It's not like they're going around spreading, you stepped on the nail or whatever in the field. That is what it is. But the military then has to pay you while you're getting well. You're not able to work. They have to provide medical care for you. That's a cost to the government. It's a cost to your ability to actually be productive. And so there's a reason why people are asked to get these kind of vaccines to serve. And for clarity, although there are 40,000 National Guard soldiers, only 14,000 have refused the shot so far. And when it comes to military personnel, the numbers are much lower, with only people in the 97% of the military is fully vaccinated, and those who haven't have been allowed to be like generically discharged with benefits, and they can come back as soon as they get vaccinated. So, I mean, is there a distinction between something like a tetanus vaccine and something like a COVID vaccine? If it is true that the COVID vaccine still helps you not have as bad symptoms and
that's
makes
been
you
really
more likely
proven.
to come back and to serve.
Yeah. That's not even, I mean, we don't, people are still getting sick. They're still taking time off work. I mean, sure, if you're 25 years old, 30 years old, you're probably not going to end up hospitalized, vaccinated or not. That's just the reality. That's the science of it. But, you know, the people that are vaccinated, it's not like they're taking off less time of work. They're just getting, they're sick. They're sitting at home. They have to wait till they test negative. They can't come in anyway. Even if they're asymptomatic, they can't. So, you know, as long as they're testing positive. So I don't even know what the argument is for that of, well, it's because we want you back to work. And so therefore, you know, for your boss and for the government, you better get this so that we don't have to deal with your sick self. You know, that's not even, if you're positive, even if you have the sniffles, they won't let you come back in.
I mean, in this case, in this case, the bosses are us, though, right? In the National Guard, their salaries are funded by taxpayers. So, you know, with government employees, my stance on this has been, you know, they work for us, so we get to decide, you know, what the standards.
Okay. Why they messing with the screen though? Now I know I'm tripping now because it's a brand new laptop I got now. So what you talking about here, man?
Off their employment. So in theory, I'm more willing to have them be vaccinated. But like you, Kim, I just don't really see the point. If some people, it's a minority, obviously, of the National Guard, it seems, really don't want to get this vaccine, what is the upside to making them do it? Because as you know, it's not really about controlling the spread of COVID, and they're not, you know, likely to be in a severe risk category. So I just can't. I think the onus, even though it's possible to do it, because again, the government employees, they work for us. But like, what is the reason ultimately that you have to make someone get it who doesn't want to get it? And I just don't.
The reason is that getting a vaccine makes it more likely that you experience less severe symptoms than people who are unvaccinated. So obviously you can't come into work whether or not you're vaccinated or not if you get COVID. But the idea is you're not out as long, you don't have the severe symptoms, and of course there's a less risk of hospitalization, which again takes you out for longer and it's just something that the military has to support you through if you're unvaccinated. And it's the same. You know, is the argument then that people shouldn't get any of the other vaccines that are required by the military as long as the only impact is on the soldier themselves and it's not something that's communicable?
Well, the other vaccines are actual vaccines that.
Did you ever live or serve at Camp Lejeune and later develop cancer, Parkinson's, or another serious illness? If you were at Camp Lejeune at any time between 1953 and 1980.
Vaccines that usually stop the spread of the virus. So that is the difference. The COVID-19 vaccines.
Many of these vaccines aren't about viruses at all, like the tetanus shot.
Sure, but the tetanus shot does protect you from having a poison run through your body, you know, if you were to step on a nail, for example. So there is something, sure.
And the COVID vaccine prevents you from having worse outcomes and a worse incidence of COVID, but worse symptoms.
Only in certain groups, but you have to be specific. You'd have to be specific about that. That's like treating it like it's a blanket. Everybody has the same risk factor. We know that that's not true. That is just not true. People over the age of 65 have a very high risk factor. So of course, for them, taking the vaccine has helped reduce hospitalizations. Also in men, particularly men who are hypertensive, it also does help reduce the risk for them. But we're talking about younger people. I mean, people serving in the National Guard are typically younger. I think there is an age cutoff, even if, and retirement is quick after 20 years or so. So, you know, we have to be more specific.
As you can see, they messing with my screen. I mean, that's okay. I'm not really worried about that. I'm just trying to get the point up tomorrow. It's the deadline for National Guard members. I know it's a lot of National Guard members in the country, so I'm just you know, giving them peace and blessings, you know, and it is what it is. I know some of my friends or people I've been associated with, so just had to point that out. Dark days ahead, but will be some other better days ahead for those who stood up. But nevertheless, like I said, Judge have been on doing shows all day. RealBTV, we supposed to do this earlier. I mean, you know, shout out to Ron for having him. Man, got tired. You know, I understand. My apologies. Usually I'm asleep at this time, but I said I would stay up. But I told him we won't do nothing by hour. But hey, look, I'm on here for an hour anyway. So, you know, but I told him that we'll get this thing together the next couple of days. And we'll talk about this again. But I do want y'all to, you know, stay up and do your thing. You know, whatever. Keep your head up. You know, hey, let it all fall down. So, hey, because with all the information we've been putting out, we've been winning for the last 3 years. Whether you know it or not, you still living, you won. But they say when people perish with lack of knowledge, and a lot of people didn't have it. But nevertheless, you know where to find me. Bernard Johnson, Facebook, KingBJMedia.com, KingBJFitness.com. I'm Bernard1120 on Instagram, Twitter 1987BJ. And you can also, you know, find me other places as well. You might find me on Frank Nitty Show or something like that sometime. You know, so just want to know that there's a lot of people out here that's working. And for the one that's work, I'm not trying to tell them about they no preaching or nothing. Don't go asking them for something without doing your own research. Research the information. Don't take my word for it. Don't take nobody's word for it. That's all I'm saying. If you take somebody's word for it, you could be in a bad state. But nevertheless, all y'all have a good night. Like I said, it's 12 o'clock on the East Coast. So I'm going to bed myself. But y'all take your time. Have a good night.